Ever since the 2018 NFL playoffs, the Buffalo Bills just have not been able to get past the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't get it, man. Like, seriously, I don't understand. Every single time we have faced them, maybe besides the playoffs, we were a better team. We have been a better team. We just don't win. All things considered, we do have some good things to talk about from the game, but we didn't win. And no, any Bills fans saying it was the jet lag, the refs were out to get us, shut up. Don't listen to them. That's how bad fan bases are made. We lost, we're moving on. With pain, but we're moving on. Anyway, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to my Week 5 NFL reactions. This week was kind of in the middle. I was right about quite a few things. I was wrong about quite a few things. But before we dig right into it, we got a couple of quick plugs. So don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks, where you can save yourself a discount on any G Fuel products or match up to $100 of your first deposit. That's all I got for plugs, though. Let's get into my Week 5 NFL reactions. Alright, so starting off Week 5, we had Thursday Night Football. It was the Bears at the Commanders, and it was not what I advertised at all. Matter of fact, it was the exact opposite. I thought we were going to get a Sam Howell masterclass. Instead, we got a Justin Fields masterclass. To be fair, neither quarterback did bad, but as you can see, Fields had 282 yards and 4 touchdowns, while Sam threw for 388, but only had 2 touchdowns and a pick. Looking at the Bears offense first as a whole, because they pretty much dominated the entire game, we had Khalil Herbert going 10 for 76 on the ground, DJ Moore going 8 for 230 and 3 touchdowns in the air, and honestly, he should have had a 4th touchdown too, but it got called back. And if you look at Chicago's defense, obviously they had the pick, but they had 5 sacks on Sam Howell. Looking at the Commanders now, Brian Robinson Jr., I'm not sure what happened with him. He had 6 carries for 10 yards. The receiving was quite the opposite of Chicago. They had 11 guys that were catching passes. And looking at their defense, we had a couple sacks, but they were no match for Justin Fields and DJ Moore. I don't know what to think about Fields still, man. Like, obviously he's showing flashes, but like, what the fuck? All right, now moving on, we got the second Tea and Crumpets game of the year. It was Jacksonville at Buffalo, and I didn't know until this very moment that Buffalo was technically the home team. Great, so we just sacrificed a home game and lost too. That's amazing. Anyway, like I said, there is some good to talk about. I mean, Josh Allen threw for 360 and had 3 total touchdowns because he ran one in as well. Diggs had 8 for 121. Gabe had 6 for 100. I mean, our receivers were on fire. Look at the defense. We had 2 different guys with multiple sacks. Like, there was actually a considerable amount of great things that happened with Buffalo. It's just that when it comes to walking out with a W, we cannot do it against Jacksonville anymore. And yeah, I know, we can't catch a break with injuries. Losing Matt Milano for the year right after Tre'Davious White, that's just shit luck, but we still should have beat him. Looking over at the Jacksonville side of things now, as you can see, Trevor threw for 315 and a touchdown. He played a pretty good game, but he does have a fumbling issue, and I'm not sure how to fix that. Running, ETN had a very good game, 26 carries for 136 and 2 touchdowns. Keep in mind, one of the runs was a pretty big touchdown run, but all things considered, he still ate us up pretty well. Looking at receiving now, Calvin Ridley finally bounced back, 7 for 122. However, it should be noted that Zay Jones was the sole receiver to catch a touchdown, and it's poetic because it's a revenge game against Buffalo. Don't let me discourage you, Jacksonville, from saying the Buffalo has a better team and you guys beat us like you're bad or something. You're not. You guys have a very fair team. You deserve to get the win. I just gotta pray that if we make it to the playoffs, it's not gonna be against you in the first round. All right, moving on to the next game, we had the Saints at the Patriots, and I somehow, someway predicted the Patriots to win this game. I think because it was at home, but oh my God. I mean, I don't know if I could have been more wrong. I don't know if the Patriots have ever lost like this before. Dude, they're a legitimately ass team. Like, they are ass. Absolutely nothing to highlight for them other than the fact that Mac Jones got benched. Like, their entire team sucked. As far as the Saints go, honestly, they don't really look like they did all that good either. Their defense had to have done a lot here because, as you can see, Derek Carr only threw for 183 and 2 touchdowns. Kamara ran one in, wasn't even productive with his legs. And when it comes to receiving, nobody had over 65 yards. But they still scored 34 points on the Patriots, where all of them were unanswered, by the way. And I just gotta say, New England? All right, moving on to the next game, we got the Titans at the Colts, and Indy fans, I'm sorry, but it's looking like Anthony Richardson might be the Byron Buxton of the NFL. Super talented, but every time he walks on the field, he's gonna get hurt. It's actually very sad. Looking at the Titans first, who lost this game, they really didn't do a whole lot besides DeAndre Hopkins, who had 8 receptions for 140 yards, but they got nothing out of it. Defense was lousy, Derrick Henry couldn't get anything going, and Ryan Tannehill did what Ryan Tannehill does best, and that's throw an interception. Peeking at the Colts, they're really lucky that they've got Gardner Minshew. Telling you, this guy should not be on the bench. He should be a starter. He's extremely consistent and reliable. Also kind of funny that Jonathan Taylor comes back and Zach Moss gets 23 carries for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving was good. Josh Downs led with 97. Michael Pittman came in second at 52. And looking at their defense, they had a pretty slow day, but Julian Blackmon was able to intercept Tannehill, and Samson Ibukem got the sack. Please don't harass me for how I said his name. Good job, Indy. Sorry about your quarterback. Now moving on, we got the Ravens at the Steelers, and roll the tape. Mike Tomlin is the coach to take a team that just got blown out by the Texans and go ahead and beat one of the best teams in the league with it. Not only am I expecting a disruptive defensive showcase from the Steelers, but like I've already kind of predicted once this week, I'm expecting Lamar Jackson to have his annual meltdown game. Okay, first off, let's begin by saying Lamar's receivers owe him an apology. But I did want to include that because he did have a fumble, he did have a pick, he didn't play his best game, so it was kind of right. However, I was completely right in the aspect of Mike Tomlin taking a team that got blown out by Houston and then beating one of the best teams in the league with it. Just how he works, man. As you can tell, Baltimore just had a lousy day all around. I do want to say again, if the receivers could hang on to a ball, this game might have looked a little bit different, but even defensively, they weren't that disruptive. Now, looking at the Steelers, they really didn't do all that good offensively either. As you can see, they only scored 17 points, but Kenny was 18 for 32 with the bomb of a touchdown at the end. Jalen Warren got less snaps than Najee Harris, yet had more yards. That's hilarious. And Pickens was the sole survivor of the team with 6 receptions for 130 yards and the touchdown that won them the game. TJ had 2 sacks too, but I mean, when you have TJ Watt, that's just kind of not special. It is, but like, you know what I mean, it's not. Good job, Pittsburgh. Way to prove me right. All right, moving on to the next game, we had the Panthers at the Lions, and I didn't watch this game, but I told you guys, Dan Campbell is too much of a blood-sucking menace to fall for a trap game. Anybody he gets a chance to kill, he is going to kill. Looking at the passing, Jared Goff was squeaky clean, 20 for 28, 236, 3 touchdowns. Looking at the rushing, David Montgomery had 109 and a touchdown, as well as Craig Reynolds and Jared Goff both getting rushing touchdowns. Laporta continues to be a game changer, and Aiden Hutchinson continues to be one of the greatest athletes on planet Earth. Carolina, as far as you guys go, I mean, yeah, it's good that Bryce got 3 touchdowns. Good that Adam Thielen continues to go off and not get hurt for you guys, but otherwise, you're basically exactly what I said you guys were gonna be. Terrible until about week 8. And yeah, like I said, the chemistry, it's starting to build now, but you're still not winning games. All right, next game we got is the Texans at the Falcons, where the Falcons narrowly escaped. And I'm already smiling because I know the Falcon fans are going to be expecting something from me to Desmond Ridder, and that ain't gonna fucking happen. Not yet. What is this, the new Mike White? Remember when Mike White went off and everyone thought he was the second coming of Jesus Christ, and now he's an afterthought in the league? He's ass. I still think this guy's ass. I'll give him the credit, though. He finally threw for 300 yards in a game. Desmond, you get a thumbs up for that, but I still think you are the worst quarterback in this league. Anyway, finishing out this game, Bijan Robinson, actually the rushing game as a whole was really, really bad for Atlanta, which is shocking because their receiving game was good. Pitts had 87 yards, London had 78, Jonnu had 67, like that's crazy. Looking at Houston quick, CJ still has yet to throw an interception. That's wild. I saw one was dropped, but he hasn't done it. Dameon Pierce continues to be not good. Dalton Schultz was the leading receiver this week, and just like the Falcons defense, it doesn't look like Houston's D did hardly anything either. No sacks, no picks. I mean, I don't even know, was there a fumble in this game? Like, did anything happen defensively that was entertaining? Good God. All right, moving on, we got the Giants at the Finns. This will be a super quick one. I didn't watch any of this game, and this is pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. Danny, I don't know if he got hurt or benched, but Tyrod got in the game. There was no touchdowns thrown between the two of them. The rushing was maybe the worst I'd ever seen it in New York. And the receiving, even though Darren Waller got 86 yards, everyone else was pretty lousy. Where did their 16 points come from? Graham Gano, and then they had a punt return, right? Looking at Miami quick, Tua had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. I saw one of them that he even laughed at because he knew it was just a bad throw. The run game continues to be one of the top in the league. Akane continues to be the second coming of Nick Chubb. No team can stop Tyreek unless they're Buffalo. And it looks like they sacked the Giants 7 total times. Wow. That was just a beating, brother. Now we got the Bengals and the Cardinals. I didn't watch this game either, but the Bengals bounced back. Joe Burrow had 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, starting to look like him again. Mixon might have done terrible, but Jamar Chase is going to be the key focus of this offense, because last week he literally said in an interview, "I'm always fucking open." And then this week the man proceeded to have 15 catches for 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. The man wasn't lying. Bengals D also picked off Dobbs twice and sacked him 3 times. Hey, that's disruptive, man. Looking at the Cardinals quick, Dobbs, he kind of cooled down. He had 2 touchdowns, but had 2 picks. The run game, I'm thinking they didn't do a whole lot of, probably because they were trailing. And as far as their receivers go, Hollywood had a touchdown, but nobody else had above 26 yards. Maybe the Bengals are back. Who knows? All right, and that will bring us to Philly at the Rams, and it was a close game for the first half, and then Philly shut out LA. Hey, it was nice to see for Los Angeles that Stafford and Kupp picked up right where they left off, all while still allowing Puka Nacua to stay part of the game plan. Kyren Williams, he didn't do a whole lot. For 1, they were trailing. For 2, Cooper Kupp's back on your team. You're not going to want to run that much. As far as their defense goes, they did get a pick and a sack, but obviously they just weren't able to keep up with Philadelphia. Looking at Philly, Jalen might have thrown a pick, but he had 300 passing yards, allowing 2 receivers on his team. One was a tight end to reach over 100 yards. That is very good. Also very good for Dallas Goedert fans, because he needed this game. He really did. Obviously, AJ was good. DeAndre Swift was really good, both receiving and running. Jalen had a good running performance. And Jalen also had a very good defensive performance, getting 2 sacks. Oh, Hassan Reddick did too. Nice. You kept it close for a while, LA, but you guys just weren't enough. Now we've got the Jets at the Broncos. I'm an idiot. I'm a clown. I'm a fucking moron! Fuck you, Denver. Honestly, I should have never believed in you. I say that every week. Also, I'm not going to even highlight anything on this game other than the fact that Dalvin Cook still continues to be absolutely horseshit. What, are you going to blame the O-line? Breece Hall sure did okay. All right, next game we got is the Chiefs at the Vikings. Supposedly this game was rigged in the end. I didn't see it. I kind of wish I did so I could talk about it, but I didn't. Either way, I never expected the Vikings to win. The Chiefs got it done, even though there was a huge injury on both sides. Something happened to Travis Kelce and something happened to Justin Jefferson. Kelce was able to come back. Jefferson, I don't think he was. Looking at the Vikings first here, Kirk went 284 for 2 touchdowns. Run game was incredibly lousy. And our receivers were led by Jordan Addison at 6 for 64 and a touchdown. I will say Davenport continues to make a huge impact when healthy though, and so does Danielle Hunter. Like, they're playing good, just they're like the only 2 good pieces of our defense. Well, and Harrison Smith. Looking at Kansas City now, Pat was clean. Pacheco got a touchdown. Kelce, like I said, he got hurt, but he came back, made an impact. Mahomes threw to 7,000 people as usual, and his kicker was responsible for 9 points, which if you look at the score, without Butker, the Chiefs don't win. Their entire offense played a factor into this game, man. Like, their literal entire offense. And concluding with Sunday Night Football, we have the Cowboys at the 49ers, and Dallas clearly isn't the best in the league now, are they? Oh, man. I don't think there's a team that can beat San Fran right now, dude. They're clearly the best team in the league. I was clearly wrong a couple weeks ago when I had Dallas at number 1, but it's the true fact, as if they don't run into an injury, there might not be a team out there that can legitimately stop them at all. Brock Purdy, again, 17 for 24, 252, 4 touchdowns. What's the excuse now for the haters? Rushing, I'm not sure what happened here. I don't even know who Jordan Mason is, so maybe CMC just had an off day. He still had a touchdown. Jordan Mason had a good game. And then if you look at their receiving, George Kittle was Randy Moss. 3 receptions for 3 touchdowns. Also can't ignore the fact that they picked off Dak Prescott 3 times and sacked him what appears to be 4. Now, looking at Dallas really quick, Dak, yeah, he fell apart. He started off really good, but he fell apart at the end. Tony Pollard, he wasn't able to run. Nobody was. And for a Dallas Cowboy leading receiver to have under 50 yards for a game, that's nearly unheard of. I mean, this is crazy, brother. This team legitimately looks like a juggernaut against any other team, but you put them against San Francisco, they look like the fucking Giants. San Fran, have mercy. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, for my Week 5 NFL reactions. Hey, I was right. I was wrong. It happens. That's what makes sports fun. If you guys did enjoy this video, you already know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, turn that bell on. I try my best to post on this channel every single day. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. As always, I will see you in the next video.